Hello, I'm David Rose, and here's a look at some of our cases featured this weekend with Crime Stoppers on Washington's Most Wanted. Starting with the hunt for an armed and dangerous fugitive who burrowed a hole through the back of a motel room to escape arrest last week. Take a look at Cody Jacobson. King County Sheriff's detectives are concerned for the public safety. They're worried this guy could be willing to hurt or even kill someone to get his fix. Detectives say he had barricaded himself inside a room at the Days Inn on Pacific Highway South in Federal Way on Wednesday, July 15th. Well, he got away through that hole that he made in the back of the room before the SWAT team arrived. He's been wanted since late last year for first-degree attempted robbery, second-degree trafficking stolen property, and possession of a stolen firearm.
Back in November of 2019, he was on the OfferUp site or app, and he had put some tools up for sale. Somebody contacted him, said that they were willing to buy the tools. What Jacobson didn't know is that person willing to buy the tools was the victim that had his tools stolen that morning, most likely by Jacobson. They had set up a meet over near a Subway in Tukwila. The victim showed up, and when he showed up, he met with Cody Jacobson. He noted that Cody had a gun on his hip, which he was still going to go tell him that the tools were his and that he wanted them back. And so when he met with Cody, he told him those were his tools, that they had been stolen out of his car earlier in the day when it was broken into. Cody immediately pulled out his gun and pointed at the victim and told him to give him all of his money. The victim replied and said, "The police are already on their way. They're going to be here any minute." So Cody quickly took off running.
Well, he had been a ghost until detectives were able to track him down last week. There were two detectives there. They were watching the window and the front door. There was no way out of the back, and they called for the SWAT team because they knew he had a gun in that room. Well, unfortunately, he burrowed through that wall and was able to make his escape before the SWAT team arrived. Cody Jacobson has 18 convictions, including domestic violence assault, theft, possession of vehicle theft tools, multiple DUIs, and drug crimes that include selling drugs. His normal driver's license photo shows him seemingly strung out. You can see he has scabs on his face. Detectives say he is known to motel hop in the South King County area. Cody Jacobson is 36 years old. He's 6'1" and weighs 205 pounds. If you spot him, call 911. If you know where to find him and you want to stay anonymous, submit a tip to Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound through the P3 Tips app on your cell phone or call the hotline 1-800-222-TIPS. You will be paid a cash reward of up to $1,000 if you can help catch Cody Jacobson. Pink tennis shoes, a North Face jacket, and a tight polo sweater. These are the clues you're about to see that could help you identify a pretty unusual pair when it comes to armed robberies. Seattle police are asking for your help to find this couple who robbed an AMPM located at Greenwood Avenue North at the corner of North 145th Street at 4:40 a.m. on Monday. Surveillance video showed them circling the store and then lurking behind it. They lasted out there for about 5 minutes before making their move. Police say he had his hand on a gun in that bag. And at one point, she turns to him, and you can see them discussing the robbery. Almost seems like maybe he wanted to change his mind or rework their plan. But she gets in his face, and it seems they finally agree to make their move. They head back towards the front of the store, and that's where he enters first by himself. And once inside, he mills around for a bit before heading over the counter when the clerk on duty finally comes out.
The female suspect then comes in. She walks up, and the male suspect joins her at the till. The guy with the gun, he has his hand inside of a pack. You'll see him actually expose what appears to be a small semi-automatic weapon, and he's pointing it in the position or the direction of the clerk. Now this is where it really gets maddening. You will see where she takes and slaps the guy across the head. Then he goes over and he has the audacity. He hauls off and slaps the clerk also. Then the female pushes the clerk back into the corner and she's yelling at him. He's kind of cowering. You'll see him on his knees. She begins filling her, she has a pack, her backpack with all kinds of cigarettes, just fills it totally up. You'll see the male suspect emptying the till and so forth. They take all the money out. He drops the till. Then you see him and the female suspect kind of run around the till and they head towards the door. One witness says they possibly could have left in a white car. No other description. The last thing we knew that it was southbound out of that area.
Seattle police say both suspects are white. He's in his 20s to 30s, 5'10" to 6 feet 2 inches tall, wearing a black and white handkerchief over his nose and mouth, a black knit cap, a gray tight polo sweater, black and white gloves, blue denim jeans, gray Adidas tennis shoes, and he's carrying a dark blue shoulder bag with a light blue strap over his right shoulder. Now, she's also in her 20s to 30s, 5'3" to 5'7", wearing a gray and white handkerchief over her nose and mouth, black framed glasses, gray knit cap, black puffy North Face coat, white gloves, black pants, pink tennis shoes, and she's carrying a black backpack on her back. If you know who this couple is or where Seattle police can find them, submit an anonymous tip right now to Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound. Call 1-800-222-TIPS or use the P3 Tips app. You can download it to your cell phone for free. You can also submit tips at p3tips.com. It's anonymous. You're going to get a cash reward of up to $1,000 per suspect if your tip leads to an arrest. Now a rash of midnight mailbox bombings, including one caught on camera, showing the car and a suspect. Pierce County Sheriff's detectives are hoping you can identify him. Now watch as the Mini Cooper clubman speeds up to a set of residential mailboxes on 18th Avenue Court East in Spanaway on July 7th. Suspect gets out of the passenger seat, puts some type of explosive device in one of the mailboxes, all while a homeowner's surveillance camera system is recorded. He lights the device. He quickly jumps back into the car because he knows something bad is about to happen. Well, the suspects speed away, and seconds later, boom, the mailboxes blow up in a series of explosions.
As you can see from the video, that somebody pulls up in a pretty nice little Mini Cooper Clubman. We expect that somebody will know who these people are and the car is, but the explosion's violent. Whatever they're using made a loud explosion. If anybody would have been near it, or if the suspect who had lit it was near it, there's somebody who's going to get hurt or killed. And we had many of these explosions, but we know for sure that these guys did this one. The other ones we're not sure of yet. We're still looking for more video. If we had a group of people out doing them, or if they were just out randomly blowing up mailboxes. But they caused a lot of damage, and somebody could get seriously hurt. These are more than just fireworks.
All right, here's one more look at the suspect and the Mini Cooper. This is in the Spanaway area. If you know who this is, Crime Stoppers of Tacoma Pierce County is going to give you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Submit an anonymous tip right now through the P3 Tips app or call 1-800-222-TIPS, 1-800-222-8477. It has been almost 3 weeks of torment for the family of this 93-year-old World War II vet with dementia who walked away from his son's home in Centralia and vanished. Robert Gerard, or Bob as he's known, was last seen on the afternoon of July 6th. The heartbreaking story his family tells of what led up to Bob leaving is one that is all too familiar during the pandemic. His daughter-in-law says that he was staying in a senior living facility, but felt trapped because he couldn't have any visits from his family. So he went to his son's home in Centralia.
They cared for him for about a week and a half, and we got some visits. He came out to our house, walked around. He was just overloaded from being on lockdown for so long. He just wanted to be out and about and free. And so we were trying to get him into a new facility that was closer to our families. And he's seen that, and he said, "No, I'm not going."
Well, Centralia police say the day Bob disappeared, he had walked to a neighbor's home. That neighbor gave Bob a ride to the corner of West Reynolds Avenue and North Pearl Street. Detectives say Bob got dropped off there because he noticed people he seemed to know, so the neighbor let him go. The Skookumchuck River is just east of there, but detectives say they've searched that river extensively with crews, bloodhounds, even drones. They do not think that Bob went into the river. They think he's possibly in someone's home.
Our belief is that he got a ride somewhere and somebody's probably trying to do the right thing, taking care of a 93-year-old man who's claiming that his family's out to get him or after his money. And we just need to, if they're doing that, we just need to get in touch with Bob and make sure he's doing okay, and we can move from there.
So detectives want to make it very clear Bob's family has not done anything wrong, but that's the story that he had been unfortunately telling since he felt he was possibly going to have to live at another senior living facility. His family says he recently started having seizures, and he's been without his medicines since he's been gone. He's 6 feet tall, weighs 185 pounds. He was last seen wearing a white baseball hat, brown jacket, and blue jeans. And he walks with the gold-colored cane that you see here in these photos. If you know anything at all about where Bob Gerard is, anything that can help find him, make sure he's safe. Please call 911, Centralia Police, or Lewis County Dispatch. That's a look at some of the cases featured tonight on Washington's Most Wanted, so I hope you'll join me for the rest at 11 o'clock on Q13 Fox. Saturday night, it also airs at 9:30 on Joe TV and 10:30 again on Q13 Fox. And then it airs at 10:30 on Fox TV stations in Spokane, Yakima, and the Tri-Cities. Let's make sure these criminals have nowhere left to hide in our state.